My father had a child with my sister as well. Actually, he had 2 children with my sister. I saw that story recently. This woman, she's gone viral because she told this story about her family. And I'm like, oh, you guys are into that kind of stuff? Okay, I'll bite. Here we go. I'll tell you my story. So my mother had already been married and had 3 children by the time she met my father. So she married my father and had 3 more children. So she ended up with 6 total children. The older ones are my half siblings. So the story goes that my father started messing around with my mother's older daughters. Of those 3 children she had already had when she met my father, 2 of them were girls. And at around the age 12 and 14, these 2 daughters apparently went to my mother and told my mother, hey, your man is touching on us. And my mother went to my father and confronted him. According to her, I wasn't there. I wasn't even born until the oldest one was 16 years old. But this is the story that my mother went to my father and said, are you doing this? And he said, do you have a demon? Are you demon possessed? That must be a demon telling you these things. No, you crazy, dirty, demon-possessed witch. I would never, ever do that. Ew. Then he proceeded to beat the shit out of her, according to her. Then, according to her, the sisters came back to her and recanted their story and said, no, it wasn't really happening. So, according to my mother, that was supposedly supposed to be the end of it. But the 12-year-old, the one who was 12 at the time, because she realized she was not going to get protection from my mother, she actually climbed out the window that night and ran away. And she never, ever, ever came back home. She never once lived with my mother again from the age of 12. Now, this particular sibling, she had a very, very, very hard life. She has since passed away, but she had to live on the street as a child and make the money the way that women on the street make money. So she did not fare well from this at all. The older sibling, though, a strange thing occurred as my father, over the years, has groomed and violated, no doubt, my oldest sibling. Somehow a relationship, if you could call it that. I don't know. I don't like that word related to this, but they began to be together in some way. So I'm in the home. I'm the youngest of these 6 siblings, and I'm very confused because my father and my older sister are often together, even being affectionate towards each other, and my father and my mother. It's really confusing. So my father basically has like 2 women who have wifely duties in the house, my oldest sibling and my mother. And then my sister became pregnant. She is age 18 at this time when she becomes pregnant with my father's child. Eventually, they do bring the child home, and now I am very confused because they didn't hide it from me. They didn't hide it from me who the father was. So they hid it from the community, but they didn't hide it from me. They told the community it was some Marine that came into town and then left. So now I talk about being confused. I'm a little confused. Well, meanwhile, my father was very abusive. He was a very, very abusive man. He was also low-level 3-letter agency, running cover operations as a country musician at the time, which was something they did often. And my mother had apparently tried to leave this marriage several times, but it was the kind of thing where he says, if you leave, I'll find you and kill you. You couldn't really get help from the police or anybody at that time because it's the dirty South. It's the swamps of Louisiana. And women, yeah, you're allowed to beat the shit out of your women and do what you want with your children. To be honest, that was the culture. Like, I'm the man, rare, I can do whatever I want. So eventually, after my father and my sister had this child, we were able to escape once, and I've told you guys that story, how when we escaped that particular time, my father immediately found us and went and took me away from my mother. So my father and my sister and the baby come and grab me from where we had escaped to, okay? So now I'm gone. Now I'm in this, we had like a motorhome. So now I'm gone. I'm in the motorhome with my father, my sister, and this new baby. And that's when they took me to Arkansas for the things that I've spoken about many other times before, basically the programming center. So anyway, after that, somehow I got returned back to my mother. I have a block in memory, but I'm back now with my mother and my siblings, and that was that. And my father was never around again. Why? Because my father and this sibling had gone off and gotten married. So Now my father is married to my sister and they have a child. So now they're just a happy family. And my father was 40 years older than this sibling. He was 20 years older than my mother and 40 years older than this sibling. They ended up staying married for 20 years, these two did, and they had another child together. So as it stands today, my father has long passed away. This sibling who had children, I don't know what to call her children. Are they my nieces? Are they my sisters? I don't know. It doesn't really matter because none of that side of the family will speak to me. They hate me. There's something wrong with me. I haven't figured out what that is yet. I don't know. But I'm persona non grata. They will not speak to me. I may as well not have a family. But somewhere out there, I've got nieces, half niece sibling people, and lots of therapy bills to show for it.